Hey everybody, so I'm coming at you with a haul video. I have a lot of really great artwork to show you, but before we jump into the haul, I wanted to tell you something super exciting. So in September, I'm actually going to the Etsy headquarters. So they invited me to attend the Etsy Up event in person. It's on September 18th. I am so excited. I actually used to go to New York City for work for years. So this was like basically a decade ago, I would say. I used to go there twice a year for some events, some conferences, and I really miss visiting that city. And so I'm really excited to go back and just see what has changed. I'm gonna spend a lot of time in Brooklyn because that's where Etsy is headquartered. And I haven't been to Brooklyn in a long time, and I've never thrifted and vintage shopped in Brooklyn. The last time I was in New York, that was before like my thrifting days, which I can't believe there was a before times when it comes to all this like thrifting and reselling. So yeah, if you're in New York City or you're in that area or you've gone on a thrifting trip there, can you please tell me down below what your favorite shops are, where I can get the good deals on vintage if I'm shopping in Brooklyn or anywhere in the city, really, because I'm gonna be there for a few days, because if I'm gonna go all that way, I gotta do some thrifting. So I really need recommendations because like I said, I've never thrifted there before. So any recommendations you have, put them in the comments below, or feel free to send me an email, a DM on Instagram, and whatever I get, I will share with you guys. And one more quick announcement if you're local. So I'm gonna be participating in the Big Dig. So Curiosities, which is where I have one of my vintage booths, they're doing a huge rummage garage sale style event. All the dealers are bringing the stuff that they just can't look at anymore. And it's not necessarily that the stuff is undesirable, it's just that the right buyer didn't come in through the antique mall, and that happens. And so we're just like, you know what? We're just gonna get rid of all this great stuff. And so I'm really excited to shop it myself. So I'm gonna be a dealer there. There's gonna be really great pricing. So great pricing the first 2 days, and then there's also gonna be like a half off day at the end of the sale. So I'm gonna put some information on the screen. So if you're local, you gotta go to this event because it's gonna be really good. I know I'm gonna go there to source myself because what one seller can't sell doesn't mean another seller can't. And I have sourced so many great things from other dealers at their garage sales, and they're like, I gotta get rid of all this crap sales. And then the same weekend, the PDX Estate Marketplace is having their big sales weekend. And so there's a lot that's gonna happen in downtown Tigard that weekend in September. So I'm gonna pop some information on the screen and then down below. So if you're local, you absolutely need to attend this event. So most of the pieces I'm gonna show you, I actually got in Michigan. Now you may be wondering, Andy, why did we not see this in the Thrift With Me video? And that is because I didn't do much filming and thrifting while I was there. I had the intentions of going there and filming a separate video. You guys were great, you gave me recommendations, but it was so hard to fit in shopping. And when I did, it was like a run in, run out situation because I had like 30 minutes before we had to go to another family event. So that did not make for easy filming. And so that's why you do not have a Thrift With Me video. I went back and looked at the footage I did take, and I'm like, this is gonna be like a 5-minute Thrift With Me video. That is not worth it. So that's why you're getting a haul. Plus I have some other stuff I wanna show you as well. But this piece in particular caught my eye. This was at a consignment store. I'll put it on the screen. It was a very beautiful, well-curated shop. The price points, like if you're the end buyer, the price points are great. If you're a reseller, it's gonna be hard to find stuff to resell. But this piece was, it like knocked me out. I thought it was great. It's so sculptural. It's a vase. It has the artist information on the bottom. It was $17 plus tax. Tax is very hard to stomach as an Oregonian now because we don't have sales tax, and when we go, you know, out of state and we have to pay sales tax, we're like, ooh, that hurts. It hurts because the price is not the price. The price is the price plus like 6%. I think that's what Michigan sales tax is, at least when I lived there previously. So that'll be available for you guys, even though I would love to keep it. And then at that consignment store, I also got these cute little painted wood boxes. They were $3 each plus tax. And I just am picking up little things like this because I'm building up my grab bags for the holidays because they always sell well. And I thought these ones were so, so cute. So yeah, that was a very good consignment store. Right down the road from it was a Salvation Army. And I did get this amazing cloisonne plate. I love cloisonne. If you've never seen videos of these being made, you should watch them because it will really make you appreciate just all the hard work and care that goes into making these, because all of this is inlay brass and then they have to fill it in with the enamel. It's just crazy. This is only $5.99. This may be the first plate I've ever picked up. Usually I'm finding bowls and ginger jars and vases. And so I was really excited to find a plate, and And it's just such a beautiful one too. It was on an end cap and I'm like, how is this still here? So I'm assuming they must have just put it out because these are very collectible and they can sell for a lot. So if you ever find cloisonne at a thrift store, pick it up. Usually at an antique mall, the dealer knows what they have, which is always a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I was really excited about this piece. So I've always been told that the Midwest is a desert for studio pottery, but I actually came across a fair amount when I was there. Nearly every store has something I wanted to buy, but because I had to pack this in my suitcase and the weight of pottery can be, you know, they can be heavy. I left a lot of stuff behind that I really loved. So the pieces that I did pick up, the price was right and the weight was right. And this was $2.99 and I loved the gold. I thought it was really pretty. It's just a lovely handmade vase. And then this pot I thought was adorable. It's lidded. It doesn't have the cutout, which I prefer because not many people are using these for like sugar dishes, really. They want them more so as like, you know, functional storage for like cotton balls in the bathroom or something like that. Way more versatile. And this one, I just love it. It was like this, like that stoneware. It has a signature on the bottom. It's a really well-made piece. I took the tape off, no cracks or breakage, which is great. Always take the tape off and look underneath the lid because oftentimes the reason it's there is because it's you've gotten cracked or broken and you know, the imperfection is hidden under the tape. So my recommendation for anyone who is new to picking up pottery or thrifting, always take the tape off and see what you're working with underneath the tape. And then the final piece of pottery I picked up was this beautiful green bowl. It was $9. I thought this would actually be awesome as a vessel for wax. Like if you want to make your own wax candle, you know, you put the wick in and you fill it up with the melted wax. And then it's just way more stylish than just like a glass candle. It just looks so cool. It's just such a cool thing to do. And this is the perfect size because it's not super huge. It's flat, won't take as much wax. So it was $9, so it wasn't cheap. But the green I just really, really loved. Gave me a mid-century vibe, so I had to get it. And then I picked up a lot of like small stuff. Like I got a bell, you know, because I have a lot of people that, you know, collect bells. And then I have, you know, this little wood picture frame. So, you know, pieces like that. Because I've had so many people into like angels and Cupid and cherubs, I found this pair, which I thought were great. They are plaster. They were $3 each. I just love the colors on them. In my space, I was like, ooh, do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? Because the colors are perfect. But no, I'm gonna make them available for you guys because every time I list an angel or a cherub like this, they sell. I did not know it was a thing, and now I know it is a thing. And it's not the same buyer, it's different buyers. So I was very excited to find like a whole set came into this thrift store. So there were a lot of them. Most of them were not the style that I would choose to pick up, and the prices were not super, super cheap. I mean, those were $3 a piece, which I thought was kind of steep for a thrift store. And so those are the only two that I picked up, but it was really fun to see someone's collection. I do love that when a whole collection of something comes through the thrift store, and actually they put out the whole collection at the same time. Sometimes they stagger it and you have to keep going to get more pieces, but it's just fun to see people's collection because, you know, that's me. Although I hope my whole collection doesn't end up in the thrift store one day. I'm hoping that people like stand in line for hours for my estate sale. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so that got sad. Let's look at something happy. Let's look at something happy. Like this cat. This cat. So I actually picked up a fair amount of Christmas things. I'm not gonna show them to you guys because I feel bad showing you like, look at all the Christmas things you're gonna get and have access to in a few months. I feel bad about that. But this one I couldn't not show you just because someone framed a picture of their cat like this for Christmas. And I just thought that was hysterical because it's just so angry looking. So angry looking. And you know, Christmas is supposed to be this festive, happy time. So I don't know if this cat got coal. I don't know what Santa brought this cat. But I feel like he may have deserved coal based on this picture. Or maybe the owner deserved coal because they obviously dressed up their cat in some sort of like outfit. So maybe that's the story. I don't know. This is the stuff that goes through my mind as I'm looking at things. And maybe you guys do this too at the thrift store where you're like, make up a narrative when you see something weird and crazy. And you're like, what could be the thought process of someone doing that? Oh, it could be this. And then my imagination runs wild. Anyways, back to the thrifting. I got some very random things like this. You know, brass stuff, I'm just a sucker for it. I mean, they're very cheap. They're like $1 a piece. I usually don't ever pick these up at all just because, I don't know, they don't ever sell for a lot, but I've seen a lot of people turn them into ornaments. So they buy some really beautiful velvet ribbon and they tie it on top and then people hang it on the tree. And it's like, oh my gosh, as an ornament, that's beautiful, because I'm like, what are people using, these for? I think they're just collecting them. And even when I see them priced, they don't go for a lot. But I thought as a brass ornament, it could be really special. So I was like $1. We will try it out. We'll see if that theory works as an ornament. And if it does, then I have a whole opportunity to start picking those up, because usually you can find them pretty cheap. So my hair today is making me bananas. It's kind of humid today, and in Oregon, we don't get a lot of humidity. So I feel like my bangs are sticking to my head. So if you see me fussing with my hair, this is why. I got this amazing plant propagator. I thought it was great. It's carved wood. It even had the test tube in it. It was $2.99. It just is very cool. Now I thought it might be one of those things that where they abstractly carve out the name Jesus. I don't know if you guys have seen those at the thrift store where you see this thing and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you're like, wait a minute. And you look at it and you're like, oh wait, that's his Jesus. Like the way it's abstractly cut into the wood. So I thought, I'm like, does that say Jesus? But it doesn't. It's just a cool piece on its own. So I know anyone who does plant propagation is going to want this. I have not shown it to my husband because he does plant propagation. So he'd be like, ooh, and I'm like, no, we got to sell this stuff. You can't have everything. My son can't have everything. I certainly can't have everything. So that's why I have to try to like sneak some things in and then sell them before anyone gets their hands on them, because there's just a lot of cool stuff coming into my house all the time because I am a reseller. I'm sure you guys, if you're a reseller, can experience the same thing. So the trickiest thing I brought back was this giant brass medallion, and it was only $4.99. It has a hook, so you can hang it on the wall, and it is extremely pokey and sharp. So I bought it because how can I not buy it for $4.99? This is the coolest medallion I have ever purchased, and I have purchased many over the years. But I don't know how I'm going to sell this thing. Honestly, I'm afraid that someone's going to wrap it and impale themselves and bleed to death. And so I don't know how I'm going to sell it or what I'm going to do with it. Or maybe I'm keeping it or I'm giving it to a friend. I don't know. I just feel like it is a liability lawsuit in the making. But I managed to bring it back intact, which is crazy. I had to wrap it up in a bunch of cardboard and make sure I didn't impale myself when I unpacked it. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing at all. So TBD on that. So last thing from Michigan before I show you some other stuff that I picked up recently, I got this adorable Mary statue for me. It's a miniature. See how small she is? She's so cute. She was $3.99, so not like super cheap. But I just, of course, had to have her. And I love when she has like the heart in the center like that and her blue robe. It's just really pretty. So this will be part of my Mary collection. I collect, religious statues. And Mary, I have a Mary statue collection, and I love when they're more colorful. I mean, I have like a minimalist wood Mary collection, but my favorites are the ones that feel a little bit more like European and old world, and that's what this one is. So very excited to bring her home for my collection. So after seeing my haul from Michigan, you can probably understand why I did not give you a dedicated thrift with me video, because I just did not get a lot, and I didn't film a lot, like I said. But I do want to show you some artwork that I got at the PDX Estate Marketplace locally here. And this is some of the artwork that I had been keeping an eye on at their previous sales. So most of the stuff that you see at their estate sales is new the month that they have it. Some stuff from the previous estates will stick around and then they just keep reducing. So if there's something that you fell in love with and it was like more expensive like a month or so ago at their previous sale, sometimes you can get it for a really, really good deal. And so I keep an eye out for those pieces every time I go. And I got really lucky on some artwork that I had seen previously. And so on half off day, I decided to pick it up. So I got this amazing, very deep Moody painting of a man. Almost looks like, I don't know, Shakespeare maybe? But I thought it was phenomenal. So it was $35 and then it was half off. A whole like artist estate came in recently. And in June, I think, is when it launched. And I got a lot of pieces and you guys bought a lot of those pieces. And then the July sale that I went to had a couple more pieces. And then the most recent sale had a couple more pieces. And that's how I've been able to get more. So this one was $12. I thought it was great. All the pieces were on board, which makes them, you know, more inexpensive and ready to frame, which is great. I thought this abstract one was awesome. I thought the color's really good. I like the green because I feel like I don't see a lot of green. And this person was very prolific in the way that they painted still life. Some of them were very realistic. Sometimes they were abstract. And that's what I loved about the collection art that came in. I thought this was really cool. So this will be available. This will be available. This one I fell in love with too because I loved the balls in the air. Oh yeah. So I think this is the person that painted all those colorful spheres and balls on the dark backgrounds. I know many of you, like I purchased a bunch of those and you guys ate them up. You bought them up so quickly, and this is the same artist. So you can kind of see they had a thing for spheres. They love them. And this one is great because I just think the colors are so unusual. Just so unusual and moody. A lot of moodiness you'll see in the artwork that I picked up. So I haven't decided if I want to frame this one because it's so good. So I got to decide if I do that or not because it's just really cool. And then again, this one is on actual like wood board, which I thought was great. And I liked, again, the colors on this too. There's so many people that have neutral, you know, interiors, and a piece like this would look awesome, whether it's framed or not. Oh, and they also always, this particular artist has a corner, at least one corner, that doesn't have any paint. And I don't know if that's stylistically their choice or they're always holding it like this. I don't know. But it's on, like, if you go back and look at the pictures of the spheres that I did, I'm pretty sure they had like a bare corner as well. So it may just be like a thing for that artist. And the other piece that I picked up were all of these loose still lifes. And what I loved about them is, here, let me show you. They are numbered. So this is 1, this is 2, and then I don't know if I can put them all in order. Here's 3, and then there's 5 and 8. So someone must have bought the other ones. But I think what's so interesting about it is I'm pretty sure like this is the abstract version of like this. And so I think that he or she, I don't know who they were, I think that they put together a tablescape or a still life, and then they did it more realistic, and then they challenged themselves to do it more abstract. And I thought that was just so fascinating. So these I'm going to frame just because I feel they're not going to be worth a ton when they're just like this on the paper. So I'm going to frame these. I've been picking up a bunch of frames. You guys keep hearing me say that. So I'm going to frame these ones. But I was so excited to find all this loose art. One of my dreams that I would love to manifest is to be able to like buy a whole an estate of artwork from an artist. I mean, that is the dream. That is the dream. This is the closest that I get when I go to sales like this where I can pick up a bunch of loose art from a single artist. So yeah, this is my whole pile, and this is just a fraction of what I've gotten from the PDX Estate Marketplace over the last few months when they've had their sales from this estate. I don't know if there's going to be anything left over. The next sale that's coming up in September, I'm definitely going to be shopping it because they always have great stuff. And I want to show you another piece of artwork that I got there. Now this, so strange, but my husband and son loved it when I bought it. And it's just, I have no words. I think it's like pieces of cardstock in cardboard, and I think they glued it to this. But it is from Jason, age 9. Can you imagine being this talented at age 9? Now, I know a lot of people, they look at kids' art and they're like, ew, kids made it, or they look at abstract art and they're like, ew, kids could have made that. And I don't know why people feel that way, because I think this was really well done. Especially for a 9-year-old. I think it has a clear vision. It's well executed. The shading in between, I mean, this is a very cool piece. This is for me, so in case someone's getting their hopes up if they wanted to own this 9-year-old's piece. But this is gonna be for me because I just think it's just so bizarre. Very alien vibes. I think that's why my son liked it, because he's like, it looks like an alien. I'm like, it definitely does. I actually have a lot of artwork actually done by small children in my home. Not my son's artwork, like strangers' artwork from like their high school art show and stuff that I just think is wonderful. And I love abstract art. And so I don't need it to be perfect. I just needed to have a point of view, and this definitely has a point of view. It's like very scary, like, what is he doing? I don't know. So I thought it was a very cool piece. So a lot of great artwork lately, which is my favorite thing to pick up, you guys know. So yeah, really excited about these pieces, and all the loose artwork, like I said, I'm gonna frame up, but the art on board, I'm gonna make available for you guys. Oh, one more final piece I wanted to show you. So I gotta ask my friend Laura about this. I don't think it's particularly valuable, but I picked up this necklace at one of the thrift stores, and I thought it was really kind of cool. I don't love this part of the necklace. I think it's kind of weird and a little bit cheesy, so I think I'll take the pendant off. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was very interesting. I love that it's brass and this kind of strange, like, piece of glass or stone. I don't even know what that is. I don't know much about jewelry at all, other than the fact that I love to own jewelry and I love to wear it. But in terms of like figuring out the value of it, you know, I don't. So I'm gonna ask my friend Laura about this. It has no, like, I know enough where I'm supposed to look for markings, and it has no markings on it. So I don't know what a pendant like this would even be worth, or if it's worth anything at all. But it was super cheap at the thrift store, so I thought, you know what, it's worth like taking a chance on, and maybe seeing if it's something. So this is the first time I ever found anything that I was like, ooh, that's cool, rather than like, oh, that looks like, you know, costume jewelry from Claire's, you know, from back in the day. So anyways, this is my haul. So yeah, Michigan didn't deliver as much as I hoped, but I also did not spend as much time in the thrift stores as I thought I was going to. And so that's definitely reflected in the haul. Anything that's going to be available for you guys. Oh, wait a minute. One final thing I forgot. I got this at the PDX Estate Marketplace. It was $9. I love these. You guys know I love, you know, religious stuff. We've established that in this video and in previous. And I've always loved these little painted pieces. It's so cute. So I don't know if I'm gonna sell it or not, or I'm gonna keep it because I've always wanted one for myself, and I've never found one that wasn't like $1 bajillion, and never see these at the thrift store. So I was very excited about that. Okay, so see, we ended on a happy note. So thank you so much for watching. Any of the events that I mentioned are gonna be linked down below. That's all I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Take care.